What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Clubhouse, the Chicago Clubhouse Network. It is good to see you all. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you all are safe with your family and your loved ones, the ones that, like I said, you like being around and love being around these days, to share some good food and, of course, some football. Tradition that goes back as far as I can see. Just kidding. But no, like I said, we're really excited here to be here and get the show kicked off, even though, unfortunately, we're here after another Bears loss to the Vikings this past Sunday. Hard-fought battle for sure. The guy, Caleb, showed some good moxie. Led the team back again, game-winning drive. But, of course, again, the defense kind of fumbled the bag there and couldn't do their job, unfortunately. But like I said, thank you all for joining us. Please hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe to us if you haven't already. We really do appreciate that. We have the Detroit Lions coming up today, and man, this one might be we might really get our teeth kicked in here, because Detroit has been, like I said, not only biting off kneecaps, but they're just biting off heads altogether. So they're dominating the division, 9-1. The Vikings are right behind their ass. So they're the ones going to be cheering for us to win so they can kind of get that top spot. But I think just for Caleb's mindset there, we need to get a win today. If we can get a win today, that would be huge for just Caleb's mindset and get on a winning track there. I'm afraid that he just keeps on losing. It's just going to get beaten into him in a sense and kind of discourage him. So, and I just, this early in his career, you kind of want your young QB to have more taste of winning than losing. But like I said, he's growing, and that's about all we can ask for. Well, I guess we could ask for a little bit more. If Matt Eberlose could be shown the door, that would be, something that we would all appreciate as Bear fans. But I guess in due time that will come. So before I get further into it, let me go ahead and bring in one of my co-hosts here, the other man with the double C, because he's also a co-captain and he's also our coach chef. So how you doing? Cannot hear you, my friend. Let's try to unmute you.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, all. Happy Turkey Day. Happy gobble, gobble.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you too as well. So I see that you're just as excited and hyped up over this game. Could be a bloodbath. Hopefully it's not. Like I said, division games are always tricky. No matter how well a team looks as soon as it gets into the division, like anything can happen. Like I said, even when the Lions were going 0-16 that season, I still felt uncomfortable facing them, just because as bad as they looked all season, playing within your division, your opponents, their tendencies. And like I said, especially, like I said, the any given Sunday comment applies even more when it's your division opponent.
It's any given Sunday regardless. I mean,
right.
Still professional football. It's not college in the sense of, there's usually a huge discrepancy between like the number 1 ranked team versus like the number 25 typically.
Right.
In the NFL, there's a reason why there's only been 2 teams to go through the regular season in modern football undefeated, and there's only been 2 teams to go through modern football without winning a game.
Right.
Games are, Houston's has not been good as they were last year. CJ Stroud's taking a back seat a little bit. Injuries, playing, coaching. Like even in these big games where we think it's to be a big discrepancy, Dallas just beat Washington last week. So, I mean, it is a division game. So obviously that's a thing, but it's still football. And anything that happened, the Bears have beaten the Detroit last year. They have done historically really good against Jared Goff. Yes, they can win. Realistically, it's not even wouldn't be a far shoot. They beat them last year. What was the score last year? 28-13.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they definitely can win. Playing a division opponent and stuff, like I said, you're familiar with them. But the way that how well Detroit has looked, especially their offensive unit, dropping 50 burgers on multiple teams, and then seeing how our defense has kind of been on the decline because of injuries to Brisker, injuries to Billings, and you can't easily just replace those guys. Tariq Stevenson, ever since that Commanders game, has his plays he's lost playing time little by little. And he's still kind of shown that he's a bit of a hothead during the game. Luckily, it hasn't resulted into any penalties, but you don't want to get goaded into anything. You don't want to.
Oh, no, not at all.
And he seems like he can be in that mindset to where he gets so emotional, gets so hyped up in the game to where typically the ref sees the retaliation and doesn't see what caused the retaliation.
Yeah, that goes back into
fighting back, and then you get flagged.
Yeah, that just football's an emotional game, like most sports are. It could go back to the bigger picture. People will say is coaching, teammates, leadership. You've got to trust the guy to do his job, but you also got to trust that guy. Happy Thanksgiving, Brandon. You've got to trust that guy to do his job and keep his head. And, what are the veterans talking about with him about, hey, look, man, we need you in these games, regardless of the record. And who is it, or his, like, especially his position group, like, they know that guy endlessly. They're in meetings with that guy every day. So the defensive coordinator, or really the DBs coach, the other DBs, try to keep your guy in check, try to reinforce positive things about, hey, look, you can't let such and such get to you. You're DB for a reason. DBs historically, you learn this. I learned this in college. You got to have a short memory, because you can give up a 50-yard bomb and then you could get a pick the next play, or vice versa. You can get a pick one series and then you can get beat deep. You got to let the previous play immediately get erased from your mind and go on to the next play, because the game of football in its totality is finite. Anything can happen. The most overrated thing to me in football, I believe, is momentum, because you could be like, oh, he had a big play, it's momentum, but then you can give up a play the next play. So,
right.
But yeah, I'm trying to look up the injury report, but my other phone is acting a little janky. But yeah, I feel confident about today's game, actually, truthfully.
Do you feel more confident about today's game than you did about the Minnesota or the Green Bay game, or would you say it's kind of the same?
Well, I picked Minnesota. I picked Chicago to win versus Minnesota. I wasn't as confident in the Green Bay game. It was actually obviously scary because of our losing streak versus them. But I think we've done well versus Detroit recently. I know they're 10-1. I could be jaded and be like, but they're Detroit. Like, right. For all the memes that Detroit fans can give, come on, guys. I'm almost 40. They've only been to the playoffs 3 times in my life. 4 times. 4, maybe 5. I'm almost 40. 5. Well, even if the number was 5.
You might need to start using your second hand here, as long as Dan Campbell still keeps coaching the way he's coaching.
Look, I get it. They are good. In fact, I'm internally kind of happy because they're not the Packers. You don't want them to win, but you kind of feel for Detroit because, the city in itself and how bad the team's gone, and the players that have decided to retire in their prime because, it's Detroit. Come on. Calvin Johnson, Barry said, no, ain't no come on. Calvin Johnson retiring. Losing plays a part in why you've had two of the greatest players in the past 100 years decide to be like, hey, I don't want to do this no more.
So let me go ahead and get something out of the way real quick. Here you go. Here you go. Here's your change, sir. You can go ahead, and my car's outside. If you want to go ahead and clean the car right outside, I mean, it's the blue one there. And, go ahead and get the tires there as well.
You should be happy, but I know your panties was in a bunch Sunday.
He was worried. He was definitely worried. After we got off the phone call with him, he was telling me, he was like, once they tied it and got into overtime, I thought we were going to lose. He's like, I was trying to figure out how to pay. I was going to pay.
Hey, we had a time in Phoenix. We don't get the game. So as long as I've been here, we've had to stream all the games. I know I kicked it with you and Mouth, and we had to stream the game and old school bootleg style. And the game went so long that the stream cut off because it was our time limit or something. So I'm listening to a live stream on YouTube from one of the guys who live streams the games because we had to. Because, I'm sorry. I got a detour. I'm sorry. ESPN app. ESPN Chicago app. What the hell is going on with y'all? What do you do when people don't live in the area? I don't live in Chicago anymore. And I'm like, okay, as long as I got the ESPN app, I'm good. No, 2 weeks in a fucking row, blacked out. The radio. How is a radio broadcast blacked out through a podcast? Huh?
No idea. It's not like they're playing a Bulls game right now, or you would really be that eager to see, Patrick Williams or Josh Giddey or, I guess Williams is hurt again. So, hey, Brandon, I feel like we could definitely do well against the Lions today. Kamish, go look at quite a few over half of Lions games, lost those games. I don't think they are unbeatable. No, I don't think they're unbeatable.
No team is unbeatable. I agree.
But what I'm concerned about, like
they are dangerous. They are dangerous and a little scary. Yes.
Their offense is flowing very well. Like I said, their offense is in a very good rhythm. Jared Goff is playing very good ball. Their running game is something that we wish we had there as far as like how effective it is. So Sonic and Knuckles there may have our way with our run defense because it has ever since Billings.
Is that their nickname now?
Sonic and Knuckles? Yeah, that's their nickname now.
That's their okay. That's better than Thunder and Lightning, I will say. That's
okay.
I mean, interesting. But all right.
You got Gibbs
they're
being
blue?
That blur.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'll take that. Interesting.
So, but my question for you, Chef, because I don't know if you remember, but as we were watching the game, you did say something like along the lines of like, "Yo, if we get this onside kick, I'm making a motherfucking TikTok. I'm making a TikTok account."
Yeah. So the stream. Okay, so the stream we were watching at Mouth's house cut off, and so you use your phone to pick up the video, and I was listening to another YouTube person react to live. So
Keith,
when they scored the touchdown, I got the end of the touchdown. So I was like, I'm listening to the commentary through another podcast.
That was the touchdown to Keenan, I believe. Yeah, right? The first touchdown.
I believe the touchdown to Keenan or DJ that put the game within 3 points after the extra point. So this was with like less than 2 minutes left in the game. And obviously, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna lie. I thought the game was over, but my soul was like, I can't not finish the game listening to it if I can't watch it. And didn't know that it was a big kickoff return by Carter. Okay, so that pushed them. I think they were on the other side. They were near the 50 because of that.
40,
Thank you. 40 something. Yeah, so we both kind of missed that. And I'm like, oh man, I'm listening to the commentary. I'm like, oh, they might score. And they scored a touchdown. I was like, bro, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, okay, you make it close. But in this age, man, onside kicks are hard, bro. I think the number for onside kick success rating in the end of a game is like less than 35%. Like, I'm being
That
generous.
was
It's
the
like
first one all year,
20,
if I'm not mistaken.
right?
That was recovered.
12 plus weeks of 12 plus weeks, or at the time it was 11 weeks of football. No onside kick had been returned or had been recovered by their kicking team, and they get it. So I said some wild shit like, yeah, if the Bears recover the onside kick, which is like a 18% chance, I'll download TikTok, because I'm avid against not having TikTok or Instagram. And if they win this fucking game, I will download a TikTok today. And we listening, and they recovered it, and then we saw it. I'm like,
oh shit.
I guess I'm gonna download TikTok. So I have a TikTok.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
I think it's coach underscore chef or chef underscore. I don't know. I didn't have to download one because they didn't win, so I just have one now. So
all right,
it will just be there.
We're halfway there now. If they win the Detroit game, maybe you'll complete the process. And before we get further into it, we got some questions definitely coming in. Let me go ahead and get our other co-host in here. He's a guy that I know is definitely gonna have a lot to say about this last game, because of course he is always amped up. So let's bring him
positive.
In. Yeah.
Hey.
Amped up and positive.
What's good? Always. What's going on, Coach Chef? Crooked Committee. Happy holidays to you.
Yes.
Likewise.
Happy family and friends day to you.
Oh yeah,
man. It was like I said, I'm almost numb at this point, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm almost numb. You know what I'm saying?
It was an exciting game, though.
It was a great game. It was a great game, and I know Coach Chef asked me last week to give him a positive without naming the kid, without naming number 18. I don't. Again, the kid is. I think that kid is real, man.
I can name a positive. The coaching was positive.
Yeah,
the offensive coordinator. The game being called was really good.
No.
Yes.
Well, that's the difference between me and you.
Offense,
anyone on that coaching staff. Let me finish, bro. Let me say, for me, you asked me if I had a positive last week. You know what I mean? The week before, I'm sorry. And I said it was the kid. First of all, anyone on that coaching staff, everyone has to go. Special teams, what? Just again, stunk it up, man. They stunk it up, and that's coaching. That's coaching, man. So the brother Tim Brown, OC, temporary OC, like no, man, none of that. They all have to go. I mean, you had to see the special teams, man. I mean, you calling for a fair catch and you don't even get out the way. That's coaching. That's coaching, man. That is 14 points. That was 14 points on special teams. 14 points given up, and we lost by what? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
3.
Lost by 3.
Yeah. So question coming. I'm definitely concerned, but also, how do you feel our offense can run against the Lions? So how do you think our offense is going to do against the Lions?
It's going to be a good game. We always play them tight. I don't care what their record is and what our record is. We always play the Lions tight, man. So, I mean, I'm not saying that we're going to come out with the W, but I'm saying that we're going to play them. We're going to play them tight. As a matter of fact, I bet my son. Yeah, he's talking about it's gonna be a blowout. Yeah, I told him it wasn't. I told him if we lose, we'll lose by less than 8.
Okay, so
by 8 or less.
I think everybody's gonna be surprised.
So where's their weakness? Where's the Lions' weakness? Where can we attack them? I feel like we ran well with Thomas Brown drawing it up, and for what it's worth, it seems like Braxton and Daniels with Jenkins helps our run game also. True. So do you agree with that statement?
I agree. I like the overall game plan offensively that they've had recently, getting the ball out quicker, not having so many long engaged plays to where, it's 5-step drop, 7-step drop, a bunch of crazy concepts as far as combo routes. He's getting the ball. He's with the play calling, you're helping your quarterback, your offensive line not have to sustain blocks longer, giving Caleb more confidence, getting the ball in your playmakers' hands. Like, everyone's touching the ball who you want to touch the ball, which we weren't seeing on a consistent basis. I think for 2 games before Waldron was fired, Komet didn't have a catch. He's had several catches and about 30, 40 yards a pop the past 2 games. DJ's gone off for 100-yard games. Keenan had his biggest game as a Bear last week. Dunze has played substantially solid. He's
sprinkled in. Yeah,
he just. I mean, you've got legitimate weapons. The run game wasn't great last week, but Vikings are number 1 versus the run. So you find other ways to get other guys acclimated into the run game. Caleb has some good runs. I think there was very little offensively that you were like, man, this was a bad sequence. I mean, look, teams are going to have 3 and outs. Teams are not going to have good sequences because it's a chess match. Sometimes you call a play and the defense has the perfect alignment for it. But overall, I didn't get the overwhelming for the past several years that, hey, for a quarter, usually we're like, man, this whole quarter was like, what are they calling? I didn't get that feeling at all Sunday that, you might have a play here, you're like, oh, I don't like Thomas Brown calling that. But for the most part, sequencing and consistent play calling from quarter 1 through quarter 4, I was like, I once again, I was really impressed. The sacks have gone down in the past couple of weeks because Caleb's getting the ball out. He said in the press conference that Thomas Brown wasn't encouraging him to run, but I would be slightly against that because he's being more aggressive in his run attempts than he was the previous 8 games when Shane Waldron was the OC. So I feel good about the offense, man.
I think
it's on IR, right?
Want to know if Brisker is back.
I think he's still on IR.
I believe
he's on IR.
He's on IR. I don't think he's coming back this
for
season.
Like another game or so.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you'd be like, you know what?
The season is a wash for him, I believe. As far as that goes, man, it was all the kid, man. It was the kid. It wasn't Brown. He's been doing the same thing since the beginning of the season, man. He doesn't want to run. You can see that. You can tell that. And when he does leave the pocket, he's looking for a receiver. That's the difference between him and our last quarterback. It's the kid. That's that. And that's why I said if he was actually coached up, that's just him. That's just him looking for the receiver, man. You know what I'm saying? He knows that he can get 10, 15 yards, but he looks upfield and sees the receiver coming back or across the field, and then he drops the dime on him. That's not Thomas Brown, man. That's not Tim Brown or whatever his name is. That's not him. That's the kid, man. That's not the offense. As far as getting the ball out of his hands, that's just the kid. He has a quick release.
So he's coaching himself?
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Who was coaching him the first 8 weeks?
So how did he look the first 8 weeks?
He looked up and down.
How did he look? He looked like a rookie. He looked like a rookie that was confused. And so you're telling me that
they fired the OC.
It was the kid. We'll agree to disagree.
Is Caleb calling his own plays?
Is he calling the play? Check this out. Is Eberflus calling the plays? Why was Eberflus talking in the mic? And defense wasn't on the field? Who was Eberflus talking to?
Well, he's the head coach.
Did you see that?
He has input.
Yeah, so
everything.
Now let's go back to next year. You said the head coach doesn't have input into everything. You said that last year yourself.
I didn't say that. You know what's really crazy? I've been going back and listening to all our old shows. I said his input is everywhere.
Yeah, you see a lot.
Because he's the head coach, he also delegates what he wants to other people. So if you're the head coach and you don't do offense,
that's not what you said.
All right. If I go back and start screenshotting and start replaying these shows, man.
It's what we do. It's what we do, Coach Jeff. You know that, baby.
Do that all the time, man.
That's what we do. That's what we do. But anyway, I like what I saw. By the way, I like the kid.
Would you rather have a Thanksgiving win versus the Lions or Eberflus loss and Thomas run interim head coach to see how he handles head coaching position for the Bears?
It really doesn't.
I think I'd rather.
But a win is always good.
I need our quarterback to get in the habit of winning, or just get in the mindset and get I don't want him used to losing and continuing to lose. I don't want this to affect his psyche at all. I think it's good for him to start getting some wins under his belt to build up his confidence to be like, yeah, I do belong here. You know, I do know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And so I would rather have a win, especially against the division too. I don't want to get swept by everybody in the fucking division and be 0-6 in the division. Like, if we could at least have something like that, that would be nice. Plus, I just don't realistically see the Bears firing Eberlose. They just never done it. And if they didn't fire Trestman after the Packers were blowing us out 42-0 at halftime, if Trestman wasn't gone after that game, and I think the final score was like 55-14. Oh shit! Get that shit out of here. Then. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. When you're staying with the Vikings fan here, you know, for Thanksgiving.
Oh my!
I think if I've done my due diligence lately in watching more of the press conferences, post game and midweek. I think Caleb even sounds a little more confident. There was a lull, obviously, especially after the London game where the losses. You could tell that he seemed kind of like, you almost felt a repeat from Justin, where he's like, he's taking accountability, but he's doing that because that's what you're supposed to do as a quarterback. But you could tell he didn't see. He almost wanted to say, "Look, man, I'm just doing what they're coaching me to do. I'm doing my best." This is just a sequence of things that are happening. And then he sounds factually more positive. Like you could feel it in his tone, in the questions being asked. I mean, he's still doing that vague quarterback answer type of thing, but he seems more kind of like, we're obviously there's no consolation for losing, but these things are happening. Kind of like a progression here. He sounds a little different in the press conference the past 2 weeks, even though they have lost. He's played well. He's had 100 yards rushing in the past 2 games, 70 in the game versus Packers. He had 33. He actually led the team in rushing last week with some scrambles. He had some ad-lib plays there. I just think that from my perspective watching it, the team looks offensively more confident. There was a sequence last week where it was a 4th down, and I think they, instead of punting like we thought they would, they went for it. Now, obviously, I think that's more of Eberflus saying, "Oh, let's widen out." He's always very iffy, but that's a whole nother thing. But the fact that the confidence for the offense to be like, "Hey, let's go see if we can get this 4th down." Also, the Bears are one of the better fourth down teams in the league. Actually, surprisingly, they've got like a 60% success rate on 4th downs.
Go for it on 4th down a lot.
But we don't lead the league in attempts. It's situational, but it just looks better offensively speaking than it has.
What's up, Trax?
4 weeks. 4 weeks prior.
Real quick, let me go ahead and bring in. We have a guest joining our show. We brought somebody across enemy lines to join us here. She was with us on the Tuesday show with the main guys here. So she's back for seconds helpings here on Thanksgiving, and we'll bring her in, our Detroit fan.
Sherry,
how you doing,
guys?
Oh, Sherry, you ain't been this confident. You ain't been this happy. I ain't seen Sherry smile this big since I've known Sherry. I've known Sherry for about a decade.
How you doing, Sherry? How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen.
Oh, you got a fan
here. Same to you.
What's up? I know I got called a bandwagon fan on Tuesday, so I had to make sure I went and grabbed the Megatron just to know that.
I wouldn't call you that. But the confidence you're exuding is the confidence I haven't seen.
Here you go, Sherry. The Lions
relative
lose,
to your team.
2 beer bombs.
Listen, man, if the Lions lose, you know what I mean? Here's the thing. Bears fans won't even bet me anything. They won't bet me the spread. They won't bet me nothing.
Oh, so you're giving us 10 points? So you're spotting 10?
Absolutely.
I bet the spread.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's
9.5.
10.
So.
No, I bet the spread on that.
10.
I would take the Bears. I take the Bears. I would take that.
All right,
I was right last week. I said the Bears would score over 17 points. I was going to take a bet on that. No one wanted to take that one.
Saying, name your price. What do you feel? Where do you feel comfortable losing?
But
betting
no, my
overall
my
hasn't been good,
coworkers
yeah.
that I normally will
Morning, Shannon.
do some
Happy
bets with,
Thanksgiving.
they're like, I think the spread actually did go down to 9.5.
Okay.
So
some action's been coming in on Chicago, I guess, a little bit.
A little bit.
Drop it
People
down.
are like, well, I know. And
Again, we always play the Lions tough. You know what I mean? We always play them tough. Be it Thanksgiving, regular season, and we don't always win, but we always play them tough, man. So my youngest son was like, "We're gonna lose by 30." I told him, "Absolutely not. We
Your
won't."
youngest son says we're going to lose every game. Wait, your youngest
man, he's a
son's gonna
Ravens
lose every
fan,
game.
man. He's a Ravens fan. He's a Ravens fan, man. So I don't pay him any attention.
You don't
when he
like
starts
nobody on the
talking
team
crazy.
but Caleb. He always picks.
That's not what I said.
I don't trust any
That's
of
not
that.
what I said.
I don't trust any of that.
That's not what I said. I didn't say I didn't like anyone on the team but Caleb. That's not what I said.
Is there anything on your team, on the Lions team, that concerns you at all, or does everything look like sunshine and rainbows? Is there anything on the defense that maybe you're a little worried about? Anything on your offense, or you just want everybody to stay healthy?
I mean, we have had a few injuries, right? I mean, we obviously lost the best defender in the league for the whole season.
I don't know if the best. He's good, sure. He's no Max Crosby.
I'm going to say he was trending.
He was trending.
Yes,
I don't feel comfortable giving that much credit.
And then we did lose
Decker.
Names.
Decker's out.
Yes, Decker's
Carlton
out.
Davis, the cornerback is out.
Mm-hmm.
But you traded for Zay Smith, right? Or
Zadarius Smith. No, we didn't. We just gave draft picks to get Zadarius.
Okay.
Yeah, this trade. He actually didn't play last week, but he should be playing this week, I believe.
Smith didn't.
Got his first sack with the team last week.
I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. It was a 3 week ago they traded for him. They missed one game. Last week.
Yeah. So look, we have a few little holes here and there, but I think overall, we still have our dogs, right? And with this Darius Smith coming in, that really was what we needed to make me feel confident about still making the Super Bowl run. So no, the answer to your question is no. There's nothing that I am worried about against the Bears.
Sherry, did you just say it makes you feel confident that you guys are going to go to the Super Bowl? Did you just say that?
Absolutely. Yes. This is a Super Bowl team. And I've said this before, I am not a delusional fan, right? And I said last year, I was like, this team is going to make it to the NFC Championship game. They're not going to make the Super Bowl. I was correct. This team is set up to make a Super Bowl run. For this team, if they do not make the Super Bowl, it would be considered a bad season. I don't think
that's the expectation for these Lions.
Fuck yeah.
The city.
That's what you just said.
The city would feel like a failure if they don't make the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. This is a Super Bowl or about season.
She's saying they left money on the table if they don't come.
I don't think
exactly. I mean, that's why Ben Johnson came back. That's why Aaron Glenn came back. The championship game last season like that. Who in the NFC is going to beat us to make it to the Super Bowl?
Are you serious? Any given Sunday, it could be the Eagles.
Now, I would.
You know what I'm saying?
I would trend to believe that they're in Super Bowl contention.
Yeah,
and of course within the organization. But I don't think if I think it'd be upsetting. Yes, if you as a Lions fan, I think you'd be disappointed. Not now. What did Vegas say at the beginning of the year?
I'm sure that wasn't terrible.
Right.
We were still.
They had that.
But now, I mean, this is.
They're probably top 3 as far as.
So today, as of if we were to Vegas the same Super Bowl, Detroit Lions plus 250, Kansas City Chiefs plus 450, Eagles plus 600. So
that's
Eagles are in the NFC.
Yeah, that's now. What was it at the beginning of the season? That's now.
I think they were top 6. I think they were top 6 as far as.
I don't remember in the very beginning of the season, but let's be real. Beginning of the season is just looking at whatever. Right now, we are looking at what teams are playing like right now, today, any given Sunday. Sure, but let's be real.
There you go.
There are some teams that just don't have a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Say that again.
There's some teams
Say
that
that
don't
again.
have a fucking chance in hell to make the Super Bowl.
Oh, of course.
I mean, yeah.
So,
I mean,
and they're
30,
they have just as much chance. They have just as much chance as anyone else in those playoffs, Jay. Once the playoffs starts, hey, it's one and done, babe. It's one and done.
No
Once
doubting
the playoffs
that.
starts,
You look at teams like the Raiders and stuff like that. They don't have any chance. And I think even
Yeah.
at the beginning of the
Right.
season, you looked at them at the beginning of the season, knowing that they had Betsy
but
going.
before I'm not getting into what I'm saying is this team, it's Super Bowl or bust for the season. That's the team.
Okay.
And
The Lions
Is that what Michigan media sports talk is saying, or is that what you feel, Sherry? I mean, is that what everyone in the state of Michigan feels like, or is that what you say?
Are feeling the same way?
That is Lions. Yes, Lions fans are saying this is a Super Bowl.
Lions Nation.
Okay.
Lions
Super Bowl bust. That's crazy.
It's just the same as when we traded Stafford away. Rams went all in. That was their Super Bowl or bust season. And they stacked all the cards, they did it, and they won the Super Bowl. Let's go.
Yeah, that year was crazy. They traded a bunch of players too that year.
They did. And sometimes you just see teams doing that. Like this is the moment. Because let's be real here. We're probably going to lose one or both of our assistant coaches going into next year.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe the offensive one. I think you might lose the offensive one. I don't know about that.
I think if you guys win, then he's as good as gone for sure. Because there's really not much more to.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to keep both of them around. So yeah, it is really, I don't really know contract wise like what players we might be, but it is the vibe of it. Black punt return TD for the Lions today to win the game.
Right.
Yeah,
but I honestly I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's at least a 2-score game, 2 maybe 3-score game. It just is what it is. As much as when I have my games on, I usually have the Bears games on just to know what you guys are doing.
You live in Chicago, Sherry. You have the Bears games on because
they're
on. Because they're on.
I can switch that shit off anytime I want. So,
and you say it's going to be a 2 or 3-score game, so they're going to get blown out. The Bears are going to get the doors blown up on them today. 21 points, 3 scores.
It could
Well,
be.
before we get into predictions,
17 points is a 3-score game. So I would say, but 10 points is a 2-score game, right? I'm going to say it's at least over 10. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to take the Bears on the spread. Sorry.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
When was the last time that the Bears put up substantial points this season?
Last week.
How much did you guys score last week?
27
last week.
We scored 27.
27. Score was 27-30 in overtime.
Are we calling that substantial points?
Yes, we are. They scored all those points on offense.
Is that the biggest
they did.
They scored 27 points in regulation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now,
if you got me
2 weeks ago, I'd be like, But last week we put up 27.
Our best game was against the Jaguars.
Where we scoring game
no,
all season?
No,
Jaguars.
We scored 36 points. Jaguars and Panthers back-to-back weeks, 36 points.
Yeah.
Panthers.
Well, the most substantial scoring point game that the Lions have had this year has been versus the same sequence of teams, except yes, they did beat the brakes off the Colts, but they didn't look great versus the Colts offensively. They had less than 350 yards versus Tennessee last week. Versus the Colts. They put the brakes on Tennessee, which isn't that a good team, although Tennessee just beat Houston. So
yeah, Tennessee seems to be coming on the up and on, but let's be real. Tennessee didn't. Right, Colts they didn't score any touchdowns against us. So even on our bad days, I'm just saying. To me, what it keeps say Bears win 31-30. That man is, I don't know what he's smoking. Y'all are not going to put up your season high points against the Lions.
I don't know, but the Lions.
If you go back, I was just about to say the same thing, Chef. You go back and you look at 7
Thanksgivings.
I was just about to say, if you go back at history says different.
We've lost the last
on Thanksgiving.
You
lost 7.
That Ben Johnson has something special for y'all? You don't think Dan Campbell?
I didn't say that. Didn't say that.
So
Just saying.
We're saying that history says
regular game of the season, we might be looking ahead to our Packers game next week. But because we've lost 7 in a row on Thanksgiving, we got national TV. You think Dan Campbell?
And 0-2 against the Bears on Thanksgiving. In the past 7 seasons, they're also 0-2 to the Bears as well.
Against the Bears on Thanksgiving. Yep.
Yeah. But also,
we always play them close.
Bears team. Look at the Bears.
We always play them close.
This season, I don't care about the Bears season the past years. I'm talking about eye test any given Sunday.
We're talking about now.
The eye test says that Matt Nagy's going to fuck this game up. That's what it says, and we'll lose closely. That's what it says. We'll lose by 3. That's what the eye test tells me. Is that we'll lose.
That's what it said.
30. We'll lose 38-35. That's what the game says. Although.
Yeah. That's what it is.
At least it'd be entertaining with that.
Yeah, I agree, Coach Chef. I agree. They're not gonna run through the Bears today.
They could. They're capable of it.
Yeah, but they're not.
They're capable of it. They really well could.
Yeah, of course they are.
Firepower.
The record indicates that.
Exactly.
Their record indicates that. It says that. But go ahead, Coach.
But I can't remember the last time the Lions beat the Bears by more than 12 points in a game.
Again, we are
let alone by 9 or 10.
It's been a while.
It's
been a while.
This team, not past years. This year is a special year. This year,
that team was last year's team, wasn't it? That team was last year's team, wasn't it?
24-6 versus the Colts, 52-6 versus the Jags. They barely beat Houston 26-23. They beat the Packers 24-14. They beat Tennessee 52-14. Minnesota was the close game. Dallas wasn't, but Dallas hasn't looked good until last week. The Seahawks was a blowout, and it was close with Cardinals. So they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat. They beat the Packers. I mean, no, we're all happy they beat the Packers. I mean, come on now. Come on.
Against Tampa Bay.
You said they're beating everyone. You guys haven't lost a game?
Guys, we have a
playoff team.
Stuff in our show real quick. Let me go. I want to pay some bills real quick, and then when we come back, let's start getting into our score predictions and finish out our last talking points here and before we get into the Thanksgiving festivities. So stick with us real quick, guys, and we're gonna pay some bills, and then we'll be right back. I promise.
What's wrong?
Standards prevail, when excellent craftsmanship was displayed and treated with the utmost importance. Acquire the crisp, refreshing taste of Moore's Beer. Moore's Beer. Raise your standards.
We're back. We are back. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all our sponsors, Moore's Beers, Fantasy Jocks, In the Zone, is it Hugh, and Visions, the vision that we all want our quarterback to have. Go ahead, Shaq.
I want to have a quick amend. I was wrong. They didn't have barely 350. They had 390 last week. I was looking at the game versus Tennessee where they beat the brakes off them, but they only had 225 yards. So that's just vision on mine. Not having the vision to see the correct line of offense, but yeah, they've looked good. It's even when you watch the Lions when they're on TV, you're like, they're entertaining. So you want to watch them. I was hoping they would have beat San Francisco last year, just because who wants to see San Francisco in another Super Bowl take another L like they did versus the Chiefs? But yeah, depending on the matchup.
Sherry, it looks like Someone in the audience has noticed you may have a what we call in the poker terms a tail. So Sherry doesn't like what's being said. Every time she doesn't agree, her eyebrows lift up.
Well, usually, you know, I'm trying to be respectful and let y'all make your points.
Look,
yeah, well,
and vice versa. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The Lions are the better team on paper.
That was very kind of you.
They're the better team on paper. They got the better head coach. They've got the better on paper proven record offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, better quarterback, talent. Defensively, it's not so much a wash defensive as a whole, especially minus the star, the young man from Michigan who plays the end. You got another guy, but you got a cornerback out. You've got a great tackle out of the game for this week. So, in the words of Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend.
Not so fast, my friend, because the kid, as Coach Chef alluded to earlier, number 18, number 18 is figuring it out. He's figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? So, and you can see that. You can literally see him taking control of games. You see him on the sidelines. I'm talking about our quarterback. You see him on the sidelines, you know what I'm saying, going over plays with the offense, with his offensive players, which we were not seeing earlier. You see him leading drives, you know what I'm saying? So, like Coach Chef said, not so fast. Any given Sunday, it definitely won't be a blowout. It will not be a blowout. I'm sorry. I'm not sold on turkey may but the turkey's gonna be good. The turkey's gonna be good today. You know what I'm saying? Cook it slow and low. It'll come out perfect. I don't know about you guys blowing out the Bears. So not today. Mm-mm.
So guys, go ahead and drop your predictions on there. Sherry, I know you kind of said your prediction this past Tuesday with the guys. But for those in the audience that maybe wasn't there to see it or hear it, could you please enlighten us on what you think the final score of today's game will be?
Sure. So I'm not going to give scores.
An actual score. You just think they're going to win.
It's going to be more than 10 points. I would say the win's probably going to be about in the 17 point range.
14 to 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Amp, you want to drop your score prediction on what you
think?
If
they lose by 17, I'll make a TikTok.
I have 28-21. Lions.
Chicago? Oh, Lions.
Lions. 28-21 Lions. Mm-hmm.
Keith says Bears wins 34-31. We saw that earlier. I'm with you. If the Bears do win, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they're scoring that many points, Keith. But like I said, if
it's indoors,
if that is the final score, I would take it.
It is indoors.
And did you have a score for us, Coach Chef, at all? On our prediction on what do you think is going to happen?
I was thinking about it last night. I saw the spread being at 10. I think it was lowered. I didn't have the numbers. I didn't write them down today. 9.5. So I would take the Bears on the plus 9.5. I think the game will be closer. If not, the Bears can come out winning. I think today I had them winning last week. I changed my score mid-show. And then versus the Packers, I had them losing, which means they're weighing on my confidence about their ability to put up points. The head coach making decisions tight is scary for me. But I will take the Bears today 33-30. 33-30.
Wow.
I say it's about field goal because I think I can't see the Bears beating them.
Y'all both going, y'all thinking you're going to score season high points against the Lions?
That's not season high. That wouldn't be a season high.
That's
season
not.
High is 36.
We scored 36 points.
Let's be real.
36.
We scored 27 last week.
Yeah.
I think we can score. I think.
What's the most points the Lions defense has given up this season? Did we say that?
I just had it up.
I think it's 20.
Oh crap! I just had it up on the doggone thing.
I believe.
The defense has played much, much better.
Minnesota with 29.
Yeah. I think that was a 31-29, so 29 points.
So they haven't even given up 30 points this season, but we're going to be the first team to do it, says Coach. So, okay, I like the confidence.
I'm just saying, like, it's. I didn't think the Bears were going to get an onside kick last week, and guess what? They got an onside kick last Sunday. So
shit happens, yeah. I mean,
we think we know something, but we don't know shit.
But the problem is our coach Eberlose, he really doesn't know shit either. He knows like less than we do.
And that's real. That's a fact, Commish.
2 points when you're down 14 points. Like I didn't necessarily see the need for that. You have to be like the smartest guy in the room.
And
whatever.
I agree, Commish. Agreed. That's a fact. He really doesn't know. Yeah, that's the fact.
Look, I got the Lions winning the NFC North. I got them winning it. I got them beating the Packers, losing to the Bills, losing to the Bears, beating San Francisco and Vikings. They're going to win the division. I respect the Detroit Lions, but not today.
It's nothing personal. I'm sure you understand.
That's all I'm going to say.
I got them winning the division, Cherry. They're going to be the number 1 seed in football.
I hear you, but I'm just saying I can't wait for your TikTok that you're going to do after today's game.
It'll probably be the saddest TikTok ever because it'll be me on TikTok.
We'll go viral, that's for sure.
Yo, that's going to be
me. I don't have any friends. I don't have any likes. All I got is a profile with my boys and me on it, and that's all I got. I didn't even stay on TikTok long enough for the algorithm to clue me in on what I like. I was like, nah, let's just download it off the app.
You get a TikTok, you might as well follow the show. So I mean, but it's kind of like how I was last week, where I was like, Addison was killing us, but I was like, well, at least he's helping me in fantasy, So I mean, it's going to be the same thing to where if they lose, it's kind of like, well, at least we got another follower with Coach Chef on TikTok and stuff. So,
yes, if the Bears get beat by 17, that's what Sherry said. 17, I will download a TikTok today, and I will follow. Well, Chicago Clubhouse Network, obviously, because I have to. Hopefully, but other than that,
So
I imagine having. Also. Can't forget, once we get to 1,000 likes, I will also download a TikTok and I will do a collab with everything, Bears. So yeah, once we get to 1,000 likes, you'll see more content on TikTok for me.
We'll also be able to stream once we get to 1,000 likes or followers on TikTok as well. So if you guys happen to have an account and you haven't already, follow us on TikTok, please do that as well and help us grow there as well. As far as this game today and my score prediction on what I think will happen, I unfortunately don't see Chicago winning today as much as I would like and want them to win. I do think the Lions kind of break that streak of losing on Thanksgiving. I don't see us getting blown out as bad as Sherry says we're going to get blown out. But still, I see the final score being along the lines of 27-20 type of game. And maybe that
sounds like a score. Sounds like a touchdown score.
Right. That's what I said. I didn't see it, 17 points.
21-28.
I hope if we lose by 17, I don't think the turkey's even going to taste good today. So,
it'll be good. Hey, you know what? It's going to be good either way it goes, man.
Enjoy your family.
I'll be at work.
Ruin your day.
Coach Chef, you're working today?
You're working today, Coach?
I pretty much work every Thanksgiving.
Well, you be safe at work today. Be safe on the road, driving there and stuff like that.
No one's going to be on the road. I work at a hospital. They're
no
easy, breezy, beautiful. Like cover girl.
Well,
goddamn it.
On the way back, people are going home. People have been drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
During the day.
Please be responsible.
Here in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Huh?
People can't drive here on a regular day, let alone a holiday.
Well,
horrible drivers here.
That's why he said be safe on the road.
Oh,
that's what he said. Be safe.
So
thank you.
Guys, any final words? We'll go ahead and kind of sign off here. Coach Chef, any final words to our fine people there?
Just want to say shout out to everybody who's commented. Please remember, shout out to Daniel. Shout out to Chicago Sports Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Good to know a podcast is supporting other podcasters. Anthony, Daniel, Anthony, mostly Keith. We didn't get Andrea. Andrea didn't tune in with us today. She's probably busy, but shout out to her for tuning in the past couple of weeks. Shout out to you all. Thank you, Sherry. Good to see you, young lady. Haven't seen you in several years, but it's good to see you via the internet. So good to see you here, even with your Penn State in the background, since the only win the Penn State specifically has this season is versus Illinois. So I don't know how they're going to make the playoffs.
I'm fine with that. I'm not
so overrated.
Overrated.
So overrated.
When I say we're going to Super Bowl Lions, that's realistic. This, overrated. Anyways.
But shout out to her.
Playoffs for you guys.
Shout out to my lady in the background, Kendra. Those who know her, she out there. You can see her in the wrong corner. She right there. Sherry says hello.
She's making a
She's
cameo
covering her
appearance.
face. She's covering her face in the background in the kitchen.
We got her.
Shout out to her. Shout out to my family back in Chicago. Shout out to my family everywhere. Everybody. Shout out to everyone on this holiday. So yeah, that's what I got.
Yep.
I just want to shout out everyone, Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Sherry, for joining us. You know, it was interesting, if nothing else.
It's interesting.
Yeah. You know, I just gotta be me, Sherry. It's me. It's not personal. Don't take it personal. It's just me.
It's strictly business.
That's all. That's all. Shout out to Brandon Trax. That's my guy. Trax is my guy. Thanks for tuning in. And everyone that tuned in. Everyone, most importantly, enjoy your holiday. And I'm gonna piggyback off of what Crooked Commish says. Be safe, be careful, enjoy your family and friends, and tune in next week.
Jared Goff those 2 picks today.
There you go. I see your eyebrows lifted again, Sherry, right there when he said that. So clearly you don't agree with that.
He can throw 5 picks and we still win. So.
Yeah, see.
That was Houston.
Yeah, they're a better defense possibly than we are. So I mean, I'm just saying. So Sherry, last but not least, would you have any final words for us, sir, at all?
Shout out to Dan Campbell.
Hey, the kneecap biter special.
Them kneecaps. Watch those kneecaps.
Damn straight. It's thank you.
I like that guy. I would have loved to play and/or being coached by that guy.
Absolutely.
I respect Dan Campbell.
I love him. I love a player's coach. I love someone with strong character. I love someone that believes in his team like he believes in his team.
He's got some cojones. He likes going for it on 4th down.
I love it. I love going for
it.
Indeed. If we're ever in 4th down, I'm yelling, go for it, because that's what we do. Shout out to Ben Johnson.
Oh, wow. It's win or bust, huh?
Special for y'all today.
It's all a bust.
Like, look, Montgomery's throwing touchdown passes. St. Brown's. I just want to know who else is going to do us a little something special. If y'all think there's something special coming for y'all today. And Aaron, let's go. 10 quarters without a touchdown. Let's keep it up. So that's what. Shout out to everyone. Lions Nation. Let's go.
Yeah, you all just keep lying to yourself. So, but anyways, thank you all for joining us. We really do appreciate you. Sherry, again, thank you for joining us and taking some time out of your day, especially today is always busy for everyone, cooking their turkeys and getting their shit together and stuff like that for their family and friends. So thank you for all our viewers out there taking the time out of your day as well to tune in to us. Shout out to everyone in the chat that commented. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your subscriptions as well. We really do appreciate it. Tune into our main show coming up. We have our fantasy show Monday night, and then we have our main show. We're going to break down the Lions game and what happened with the main.
Going to break down the Lions win. Oh, no, I said it subconsciously. A Bears win. We're going to break down a Bears win.
No.
Oh, God damn.
We were still live, so that's recorded. So good job.
Damn.
Coach
Cut out
Jeff,
that little clip.
Damn.
Yeah, we might have to clip that out for TikTok.
Damn.
So, yeah, you done
Like
fucked
Kevin
up.
Hart.
Damn. So let's go ahead and get out of here before there's any more mistakes like that. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. Please be safe out there. Like I said, if you're gonna have a drink, please be responsible. Find another way to get home so you don't hurt yourself or anyone else out there. So be safe.
Oh yeah.
Be good. But if you can't be good, damn it, at least be good at it.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one.
And now it's all over.